I'm Battenberg, the German nerd, the brightest professor that you've ever heard.
He's Battenberg, the German nerd, the brightest professor that you've ever heard.
Schnepps, my assistant, follows me and is almost everything a friend should be.
Schnepps, his assistant, follows he and is almost everything a friend should be.
Why is the chorus following us?
Why is the chorus following them?
Well, then not anymore.
You are listening to the adventures of Battenberg and Schnepps, Episode 1, The Case of the Brown Ruby. Good evening. My name is Dr. Hans Battenberg of Ascherberg, and this is Schnepps.
What?
Thank you, Schnepps. Tonight's tale is one of immense terror and hardship. A story which will chill you down the back of your spine.
Not that is the front of your spine.
Schnepps, be quiet. Let us cast our minds back to the year 1965. A very good year. Amongst other things, England had not yet won the World Cup, and I discovered a pet wasp living in my trousers. But then, something happened that would change the course of history forever. I forgot to put the cat out. Just think, if I had not been so stupid, that third goal would clearly have been disallowed. But enough of this. In 1974, when we had won the World Cup, I was called away from my studies at the prestigious University of Michelschwein to attend ein grape-stomping festival in Outer Bavaria.
Not that there's an inner Bavaria.
There won't be an inner you if you carry on like this. Now get back into the cupboard and pack our bags.
Right!
Anyway, I was called to the festival by an old friend of mine, the amateur golfer and connoisseur of wine, Count Volkish von Whistlestop. Let's go back there now. So, Count, I understand you have developed a new kind of wine that you intend to premiere this evening.
Well, I have been developing a new wine.
Wine?
Yes, that's what I said. Will you let me get you another glass of wine, Herr Doctor?
Wine?
Yes!
Thank you, Schnepps. Here is mein Glas.
You must be more careful, Herr Doctor. Think of all those test tubes you broke last year.
That was in the interest of the nation. Otherwise, they would have ended up on the street, filling themselves up with chemicals. This would cause a great social malaise, and perhaps even a small apocalypse. Is that what you want? Is it?
No?
Good. Now get me a glass of rosé.
Why did you do that again?
That wasn't me.
Well, then who was it?
All right, stop the music. Who did that?
Sorry, I was aiming for Mountbatten.
Oh, well, that's all right then. Now, where were we? Oh, yes, your wine.
Wine? Yes, my wine. Well, my wine has incredible properties. When this wine is combined with the ancient Brown Ruby of Mesopotamia, it produces a flavor which is like nothing you have ever experienced before.
What's it like?
Like eating a tub of jelly while simultaneously invading America.
I've got to get some of that. Do you have this brown ruby? Could I see it for myself?
Alas, the brown ruby has gone missing. It is a great tragedy for this family. The brown ruby has been in the Whistlestop dynasty for over 300 years. And now somebody has stolen it.
Schnepps! Put down that violin! Have you any idea who could have done this?
The last I heard of it, it was taken from me and placed in a glass display cabinet trapped within the National Museum of Antiquities in Yorkshire under constant surveillance by the police and Swiss guards.
With Swiss knives, I presume.
Don't be so ridiculous. I beg of you, Hans. You are the brightest man I know. You must break into the museum. I mean, do everything in your power to retrieve the brown ruby and restore the reputation of this great family. Hang on a moment. Why would thieves take your family's brown ruby and place it in a public museum where it could be stolen by anyone? I am definitely not trying to steal this. I mean, I have no idea. You know how cunning thieves are these days.
Well, for the honor of Whistlestop, I accept this case.
Case? Oh yes, there is a case. Here is a briefcase full of the vital equipment which is necessary and essential to your success. Now, bring me the museum's jewel. I mean, the stolen jewel. Evilly stolen from me without my consent. And you will be able to sample this rare wine.
Wine?
That's wearing a bit thin now, don't you think?
This was a baffling case. And although I have the biggest brain in Bavaria, I had to think it over. While thinking it over, and then having tea, and then thinking it over some more, I sent Schnepps into the slums surrounding the museum to find out when would be the best time to do the job.
Of course, I didn't believe that the Brown Ruby had been stolen, but I decided to agree with Battenberg for the sake of the plot. I arrived at the slums via my normal form of transportation, a four-wheel drive unicycle disguised as a hamburger. I wanted to be as inconspicuous as possible. As I pulled up outside the local pub, I spied a burly man carrying a hat. Listeners, remember this point. He was carrying a hat. Good evening, Yorkshireman. Nice weather, what?
You're one of those off-comers, aren't you?
I've come. I don't watch TV.
Oh?
Oh.
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 Oh. So, anyway, I was wondering if you could help.
Help? You don't get much help these days, eh? But price of help gone through the roof since government moved in. Now they claim expense on everything, from bath plugs to pornography.
Here, this is 1974. We don't have pornography yet.
Oh yes, I mean a bloody 3-day week. Keeping our kids awake, I blame Reginald modelling.
He didn't have a position in 1974.
Oh, shut up and go back to the plot.
So, Yorkshire, you will tell me when this museum opens and closes.
Why should I?
Please?
Okay, young boy.
I'm 32.
Okay. Homeless middle-aged boy.
I have a home.
Oh, I made that up. Well, you'll have to ask my wife. She deals with the business end of this family.
And where can I find her?
In the cemetery.
What's she doing there?
She's been dead for the last 20 years. Of course, you could try our lad.
And where is he?
No, he's only been dead 5 years, so you could stand more chance. He's a good lad.
Is there still anyone alive in your family that can help me?
Well, there's me, of course, the cat and half a sparrow. The other half's on holiday.
That conversation was completely useless. But as I walked home, I espied on the museum itself a noteworthy notice of a notable note. Apparently the museum was due to close for restorations in 35 years. I knew then what I had to do.
What a wonderful discovery, Schnepps. In only 35 years, the museum will be under great renovation and minimum security lockdown. It is then that we will strike.
Well, that is a long time to wait, Herr Doctor.
You're right. We must think of a way. Scrabble?
You win again, Herr Doctor.
Is it 35 years yet?
No, it's 25 seconds.
Damn. We must think of another way. I have it! In order to find this jewel, we must go forward in time. That way, we can arrive at the museum in time for the restoration, slip in unnoticed, grab the jewel, and come back and return it.
What a brilliant exposition of the plot, Herr Doctor. Here, have a BAFTA.
Oh, thank you. We will use my latest time machine.
You're sure this will work better than the last one?
Of course. I know that spending 20 years in the company of Sophia Loren was sheer torture. That will not happen again. Now, step into here.
Hey, Doctor. This is my cupboard.
Of course. What do you think I was doing when I sent you off elephant hunting in Siberia? Do you really think I was in dire need of ivory?
You mean I finally found an elephant after 3 long years searching, hanging around the Russian steppes, and you didn't need one?
Sorry. Now get back in the cupboard and throw the switch.
Right!
Will Schnepps and Battenberg make it to the future in time? Will they find the Brown Ruby and return it? What is in that case? Join us next week for the next exciting installment of The Adventures of Battenberg and Schnepps. I'm Battenberg, the German nerd, the brightest professor that you've ever heard.
He's Battenberg, the German